back.
How are we doing? Right, okay, so we are moving into this matchup. This juggernaut of a matchup between Duncan Tang and Will, owner of Yard Games. So we have community leader and community celebrity here.
Oh, this is gonna be a tasty match, Kev.
It's gonna be good. Like again, like this is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm so glad that so many people came out for the community events, because like it's not just people who put a lot of effort into the community like Will has. Obviously, he owns Yard Games, but also at the start of lockdown back in April and May, Will was running kind of small scale community events, kind of like what we're doing today. Will was kind of championing that really early in lockdown. So I'm really glad he's shown up to show support for other people who are doing similar. And also pretty excited to see a master at work like Duncan Tang, who has shown up with a wild deck today.
Yeah, definitely playing all the colours under the sun.
So we've jumped into game one from Will's perspective. So
Yep.
Will can try and figure out what Duncan's up to here. Will is just playing an updated version of Genesis Ultimatum. Just your teamer kind of ramp. He's got 4 Ugins, 4 Beanstalk Giants, 4 Ultimatums, and then a bunch of things to get him there. So we're going to likely see him. Is he playing the Dragon? It doesn't look like he's playing the... he's playing Goldspan Dragon, so this isn't a deck. What was the other dragon they used to play?
Terror of the Peaks.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any Terror of the Peaks in the main board here. So Will has just jumped straight onto the Goldspan Dragon train, which makes sense because the Goldspan Dragon is going to ramp you into that Genesis Ultimatum.
Makes sense. It's just a good dragon. I mean, they're all good dragons, but Goldspan seems to be the goodest of them all.
Duncan's deck, though, is wild.
Yeah.
Like, loads. So Duncan is in straight up 5-color Yorion. Did he miss a land drop there?
I think he... No, he didn't. Will was on the play.
Right, okay.
So,
but
he's got Kusima as well. I'm excited to see. Path of the World Tree, nice.
I'm just trying to get the deck list sorted here. But yeah, you've got Urians, your Blood Chiefs first, Omen of the Dead. So he seems to be quite heavy black, even though we're not seeing any black sources on Duncan's side.
Although you tend to find that with 5-color decks, you kind of default to green first to get, like, green gives you access to cards that will allow you to generate other colors of mana. Just holding up double green and blue, which might be hard because, I mean, this teamer deck's got a lot of permission. Saw it coming, Behold the Multiverse.
Which I think is like the big upgrade to this deck, right? Because before it was more of an adventures deck. Where, okay, there's an Omen of the Hunt. That'll find Duncan's black source. Will is allowing it. He said, you know what, find your black source, I'll just counter your black spell.
Yep.
I wonder if Will was expecting a black land there.
No, I don't know. I mean, they do have access to each other's lists, right? It's open deck lists, I'm sure.
So Omen of the Sea, Omen of the Hunt, Snow-Covered Swamps.
Verlaine 101, Harry going for a sponsorship deal there. Nothing wrong with Scotland's finest, you know. Just an ice cold can of Iron Brew.
Citizen Champion.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, Will wants nothing to do with that.
No, Will's like, no silly enchantment creatures, please.
This is the thing with these Urian decks, especially Duncan's version. I'm looking at like Duncan's list, and it's so hard to tell what's going on because it's all like 1 and 2 ofs, and it's an 80 card deck. Like, I preferred last matchup where I just got to look at 4 of Croxa, 4 of Goldspan Dragon, 4 of like Behold the Multiverse. It's a bit harder to dissect exactly what's going on. Will just looks super ahead here.
Yeah. I mean, I think ramp deck game 1's always going to beat up on the mid-range decks, right? I think essentially Duncan's playing a 5-color mid-range deck.
Yeah, Duncan also has a lot of Wrath effects in his deck. That he's going to need to get shot of going into the next game.
Definitely, because I mean, if Will finds an Ugin, it's pretty much lights out. Alex the Dinosaur, best Harry in MTG, no doubt. Probably didn't want to see the Ugin main there. Oh jeez.
I mean, I think it's okay. It just gives them like a backup plan after this ultimatum goes off or doesn't go off. The follow ups that Ugin.
Sorry about that. I had to turn off all my Google Chrome notifications of getting spammed with Facebook notifications.
Okay, so here we go. First spin of the wheel.
There it is. There it is.
It wasn't a great one. Oh, I guess it was.
Ugin alone's good enough,
Yeah, 7 mana Ugin.
Yeah, exactly. Seen worse.
7 mana Ugin that also drew 3.
Oh, what? That follow-up play.
He's not going to like what's coming on turn 8.
Yeah, I know. Well,
as
a famous rapper once said, another one.
Okay.
I don't know about that. I don't know if Will should have considered minusing Ugin there.
Yeah, I mean, if Duncan has a Yorian in hand, this could be a bit awkward here with this binding.
Yeah, or a follow-up binding, of the old gods.
Yeah, but I mean, the follow-up binding wasn't going to, is always going to be there. But I think like minusing their plays around, removes Duncan's Yorian out.
Well, also removes Duncan getting an additional land right to catch up.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
I think like plus and threes, like whatever, like Duncan has 2 turns to find an answer to Ugin, which on average you'd expect him to find. I guess like Will's hand is just full of permission.
It's just brute forcing this down, but like,
yeah.
Okay, I was going to say surely it just dies to Ugin, but there we go, we've got the counter. So Duncan's starting to spin his wheels, but this might just be an Ugin minus here.
Yeah, Ugin minus now would be pretty backbreaking.
I don't think it's too bad. Because Duncan will just get to redeploy. Well, I guess he won't get to redeploy because of the permission that we see in Will's hand. I mean, there's even like Will has just so much mana that there's even potential for him to just be like Jwari disruption, pay it, Jwari disruption, like
yeah. So he's going for minus 3.
Well, he doesn't. Well, the saga's going to go away itself.
Yeah, it makes sense.
There's no more advantage to be gained from the saga. It's just going to
death touch. Well, there you go.
I like as well the way that Shark Typhoon interacts with these Foretell spells because he's only going to spend 2 mana and get a 4/4 Shark.
Exactly, like
off of this Behold the Multiverse.
This is just, I can't see an avenue of Duncan getting back into this game, to be honest. I would have expected so game 1. Like, I think
it's always going to be tough. Duncan's sideboard looks stacked for this though.
Yeah, I mean, Elspeth's Nightmare is big game. Like, even though 3 mana, second turn it comes down, like take a card, might be relevant. Valkyrie comes down, probably just having a look at opponent's hand before inevitably conceding, maybe.
Yeah, he just wants information.
Don't count out the Tang. Never count out Tang.
I mean, I have full faith Duncan can come back in game 2 and 3, but I feel like this one might just be too far gone.
Yeah.
Bringing Disdainful Strokes in, Elspeth Nightmares in. I mean, I'm looking at this sideboard and I'm thinking, like, is it all just coming in? Like, Maze Mind Tome seems great. Masked Vandal. Masked Vandal, maybe not, but like Bloodcheese Thirst, definitely. Elspeth Nightmare, definitely. Disdainful Stroke, definitely. Ugin, definitely. Mastermind's Tome, definitely. I can see, like 13, 12 or 13, 12 or 14 cards coming in here.
Yeah, definitely. Like maybe Elspeth's Nightmare is a little bit too cute. I'm not too sure, but maybe Duncan might think it's worthwhile just to get.
I think just a duress on, like, because it's a duress on suspend. It means you can, like, it's like we're talking about why duress is so good in the red black deck. Is because it lets you double spell. Elspeth's Nightmare does the same, where it lets you double spell. You can play the Elspeth Nightmare and then it duresses on your next turn. So then you've got your full mana to do what you want with on the turn where you get your duress.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
And I guess he just has bad cards he needs to take out, right?
Yeah, I think it's more so the case. Less so that Elsa's Nightmare is actively very good here. It's more that it's actually relevant, whereas Duncan has a lot of cards game one that are just, you don't really want them.
Yeah. I always find it tough actually playing into these teamer decks because it can be hard to know. Are you fighting like the ultimatum, or are you fighting like the adventure creatures? Are do you have to just fight Beanstalk Giant, Bone Crusher Giant? So yeah, it's.
I think the adventure creatures are less of a concern for me. It's more Genesis ultimatums. What really
the Murray brothers have shown up.
Oh, Stephen Murray, how's it going?
Is that which one it is?
Yeah.
It's
How you doing, my friend? Glad to have you playing today. Excited to see you on the table.
Is Stephen in the tournament today?
Yeah, Stephen is. Stephen is always in these tournaments. Stephen loves a community cup. Yeah, Stephen.
I am so pleasantly surprised. Discovered there was a cap last night.
Wait, is Stephen playing? Is Stephen not playing?
I don't think Stephen's playing. I think.
Oh, that's a shame.
I think he might have been on the reserves.
Well,
I was just on the waiting list. Yeah,
Stephen, if you were playing, what would you have played?
Yeah, what's your analysis on this format?
Duncan's hand looking pretty poor there. Tentative keep, yep. I agree, Duncan. Get that Ugin out here. Oh, I mean, it's not awful. The tome, if Duncan hits a land drop next turn, then it's a nice way of trying to carve into like Disdainful Stroke for turn 4 on the play. Duncan really wants to see a land off the top.
Right. So, from Duncan's perspective here, he seems pretty set up, right? He's got Disdainful Strokes. He's going to get these Maze Mind tomes running. I wonder how liberal he is with this Valky. Like, does he run it out as a creature, or does he hold off for the Tibble?
See, this is awkward. Like, we kind of seen the Jawari disruption coming down there, right? I think, like, I don't think the way Duncan's hand is shaping up that he's likely to hit 4 lands off the top. So he's probably likely to pass here in a Omen of the Hunt EOT. Shark Typhoon on 1's completely fine.
I wonder if he tries to sneak in the Omen here.
Almost certainly. I don't think there's a 4 mana play here that I care about. I would just.
Okay. Again, I think he has to just hold these Disdainful Strokes. So I think if there was a 4 mana play, there's no way it can be more important than dealing with an ultimatum.
Yeah, exactly. I think Duncan can survive off 4 lands for now, and just pass, keep these strokes up, and deal with whatever comes his way.
Yeah, like Stephen, you're definitely right. Like sometimes sleeping in and not playing Magic can be better than playing Magic.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm here doing coverage with Kevin. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Right. Okay. So it's in and it misses, but we now have perfect information. So Duncan can try and get the most out of these Disdainful Strokes. Now that he knows what to expect.
And the huge thing for Duncan here is that Will's having to rip off the top for lands. The issue for Duncan is that
he has no pressure.
He has no pressure, and he's actually given Will a way to potentially hit another land drop from these the removal spells.
Yep.
Kind of interested that they're still in the deck, to be honest, but
again, it's so hard to even know what Duncan's up to. Duncan is also in the similar situation now, though, where they're having to rip lands. So this is going to be quite a low resource game between these two decks that should be like absolute juggernauts.
Yeah.
Okay, Duncan's just choosing to grab the Yorion rather than Scry off of the hunt. Okay, so there it goes. So Will's going to get his draw discard going.
Yeah, probably get rid of one of these fire prophecies, you'd imagine. Beanstalk Giant hits another land drop, gets him closer to where he wants to be. Yeah.
I mean,
not sure if
Cassima.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be tempted to just slam Cassima here.
Well, the issue is though, right? Cassima only does things if you hit land drops. So is actually putting Cassima in play useful?
Maybe not. I mean,
the other interesting thing is the client is no longer helping Duncan because of the discard element. Duncan's going to have to remember what those cards were.
Yeah, exactly. I think you want to scry off the Omen to hit a land drop here. I think Duncan can't really afford to miss. Maybe one more.
I think this is a good situation, but it's not a good situation, but it's the best of a bad situation because now he is holding up the scry, but also has the ability to answer any threats that might be an issue because he has disdainful strokes and the heartless acts.
Unfortunately for Duncan, was hit the land drop. Okay, well, yeah, perfectly fine. Probably doesn't matter here.
I don't think it's too bad for Duncan because he's got disdainful stroke, heartless act. It's going to be a long time before anything Will does sticks.
Exactly. I think Duncan might consider playing Cassima here.
Yeah, Cassima, and he still gets to hold up all of his relevant cards.
Yeah. I think
seems fine to me. We need more
fun Finn poison decks, in my opinion.
What
do they look like, Kureshtin? What do these fun Finn poison decks look like?
It'll just be the death touch decks, right? With the 1/4. Some can hold just passes. Interesting.
Yeah, not sure about that. Not sure.
I don't know what he's anticipating to need. Okay, maybe now he feels safe to get the Cassima down.
I don't think it changes things, right? Because I think Duncan's plan is to hold up double stroke, and then maybe
maybe he was worried about ultimatum with counterspell backup, and he wanted both.
Oh, nice draw. I think I would play this now, maybe.
Just hit your land drops, and then have a.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Duncan's really not one to act on his own turn. I think I think the fight is hoping Will hits low enough, play the counter war, and then slam a permanent like Ugin.
An issue was until this turn, Will didn't have the greens to cast the ultimatum. This is the first turn that the ultimatum was actually live. I guess he's just worried about Binding of the Old Gods.
Nah, you need to hit land drops. Land drops are the most important.
It's all at the bottom.
Yeah, and then Duncan can scry end of turn to make sure if he doesn't hit one here. Yeah, so you're
Within the Fangbearer Death Touch Tribal. I see.
I don't know.
Okay, right. So he missed the lands.
Yeah, I would have maybe, regardless of how, obviously Omen of the Sea is very nice with Yorion, but I think at this point you really just want to hit a land drop. I would have considered sacking the Omen of the Sea and scrying 2 more.
Yeah.
It's just
it's these little edges, but I guess he just feels far enough behind on resources that he needs every resource he can get.
Yeah, but I think the most important resource here are lands more than anything, because Duncan really needs to be able to try and stick one of these 3 mana creatures with double stroke backup, which he can't do right now. And he's forced to pass the turn. He's forced to discard a card.
Oofed.
Probably one of the Yorions.
It's interesting that he has decided to not cast any of these 3 mana creatures.
If he needs double stroke up, and that's why I think it's really important that he hit the next land drop, and I think it's worth sacking the Omen at that point.
Yeah, just in the end step.
Yeah.
He could Omen kill. You're right, Stephen. He could Omen kill.
Could Omen kill, yeah. That's a possibility.
What does the Omen Keel do? It like finds you lands, doesn't it? Because like the gods normally work together with their backside. So since like Kasima cares about you hitting land drops, I assume that the Omen Keel will find you lands.
Yeah, I think Duncan isn't too concerned about.
I mean, this is interesting now because if there is a counter spell for this giant, okay, there's not. If there was a counter spell for that giant, that might become pretty scary. Yeah, again, not sacking the.
Yeah, like this is the thing. Like you can't play one of these 3-mana spells.
Maybe he
Well,
just
you
plays
can.
Maybe he just plays Valkyrie now for a peek, like just so he knows what he's up against. But now, again, it's looking tough because like now he has to, like, his only option is to go down. Now he knows there's another Fire Prophecy in his opponent's hand, or I guess it could have been the card that was discarded. But
I think it makes sense for him to discard the second Fire Prophecy, Essence Scar. Yeah, cool. Now, we'll consider playing one of his. I mean, how much mana has Will got? Is it 11?
Yeah, at least 9 or 10.
Right.
I can't tell with all the islands piled on top of each other, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd say it's at least 10.
Yeah, right. Duncan's finally electing to sack this, and
Will just passed. Okay.
Yeah, which is surprising. I would just bottom. Unfortunately, the scry this time didn't really make much of a difference because he had access to the land off the top anyway.
Okay, so the Shimmer Veil is naming black. So this Valky is not going to be a Tibble anytime soon, I don't think.
No.
Which is maybe what Duncan's playing for here. Like, just try and take over the game on the... Okay, another Essence Scatter is fine. Just try and take over the game off the back of a Valky. Off the back of a Tibble, 7-mana Tibble.
Unfortunate.
Has to just let this go, I think.
Yeah. Bottom both. Okay. Duncan's kind of in a position where he probably needs to consider disdainful stroking one of the giants.
I don't know how greedy do you think he is? Like because Ugin doesn't even answer the giants, does it? So I think you're probably right. If this giant comes in, it has to just be disdainful stroked, because his Ugin's not an answer anymore.
Oh, this is such a tough spot for Duncan. Yeah, I think you have to counter this.
Okay, and does this giant get protected, or is Will going to let this giant go?
I think he has to let it go because like he must be aware of Duncan having access. Oh, that was a nice one. He must be aware of Duncan having access to Ugin or like a Tibble as well. So I feel like Will's just trying to bait Duncan into using up the counter spells on the Beanstalk so he can resolve a more problematic permanent or resolve a Genesis ultimatum. I think Duncan just slams this. The issue is like if Duncan plays this tome and he gets countered, kind of annoying, but at the same time he's only spending 2 mana. He's not trading down. And I think it's just inevitable. Like the tome gets eaten in order to give Duncan the best chance to resolve an Ugin.
Okay, I think Duncan agrees with your line.
Yeah, and I think if this goes by the wayside, then it is what it is. Well, obviously tanking on this because this is essentially a 2-mana draw 4. Yep, negate.
Okay, it's gone. Again, these are cards Duncan knew were in Will's hand, because that's the negate and the essence scatters and things that we saw on the first Valky. I think we're almost out of information now, though. I think the only other card that we saw was the other Fire Prophecy, which may or may not be in the hand anymore.
Yeah, I think Duncan's forced to just counter this. And then maybe if he draws a land off the top, slam Ugin.
Is this the Beanstalk Giant that Will decides to protect?
No.
I think this one's going as well.
This basically tells me that
there's a Genesis Ultimatum in the future.
Yeah, or like there's a counter spell for like anything that.
I guess Duncan just has to have a peek.
Yeah, well,
I guess he's going to just now that we've played the Urian, I assume the line is just to bait, just to like bluff a counterspell and hope that's enough.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think Duncan's in a pretty terrible spot here because basically Will can essentially slam a really impactful card plus hold up a counterspell.
Yeah,
Jeez,
I mean,
yeah, that's huge.
There's the ultimatum.
Well, I think that's
Pretty good hits.
yeah, I think that's pretty close to GG if I've ever seen one. -5, okay. And I think Duncan's on hammer time where just slam permanents, hope one sticks, and maybe get back into this game. But double foretell cards, you know your opponent's got a lot of foretell counter spells. It's not good. At least Duncan can like try and find a land. Two decent cards.
Well, binding is an answer to this Ugin potentially.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, you can play it.
It's...
Probably gets countered. I think you would counter this if you're Will. Yeah, saw it coming. We all saw it coming. Yep, GG.
That's it.
Game. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably one of the worst matchups Duncan could expect from today.
I mean,
go bigger.
The Temur deck is definitely, like we talked about, it's definitely an issue. And I never expected the upgrades that it got. Like, so the fact now that it's switched to playing Saw It Coming, it's playing Behold the Multiverse, it is just playing a control game now with this big finish. It's moved away from playing all the derpy adventure creatures that it played, just to make its the Dragon of the Peaks good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting choice for week 1 of standard. Like, obviously the ramp deck is nice against like in a world of mid-range decks, but I feel like you will get, if you try to play those strategies, you're likely to get punished by a lot of the aggressive decks that people are playing.
Yeah, Duncan's right. Duncan said I did not see it coming that they started to play See It Coming.